give me 2 minutes on systemic win.
Okay, systemic win is a solution that no one realizes that they need to a problem that no one accepts that they've got.
Oh God, I love that.
So the real problem we've got is someone does something that doesn't work very well. It could be for themselves, it could be for someone else. Whoever it affects negatively then reacts in an unsatisfactory way to it. So there's basically a spiral of unsatisfactory reactions. And I suppose I would say war is probably the most unsatisfactory reaction that we have, because the longer a war goes on, the more resources get used, the more people get damaged, and the less there is for the people who've survived the war to do something with, and the more they've got to just rebuild a whole bunch of stuff that's been broken. So systemic lose, I don't think anyone wants systemic lose. And its opposite is what happens that I respond well to what's happening with the person I'm engaging with, bring out more of the better in them, they bring out more of the better in me, and not just you and me, but the systems around us all flourish.
So who decides what responding well is? Because I think that's where the key to this lies.
Well, I would say, first of all, just start off subjectively. I mean, we know, am I feeling good? Am I feeling bad? Am I liking this? Am I disliking this? Is this satisfactory? Is this unsatisfactory? So it's like, when it's not going well, do I look at what my part of it not going well is? However I define not going well. I mean, that's why I think we have to start with each of our own, what each of us actually is in our experience.
So that's really interesting. So I start subjectively and I say to myself, is this going well? Is this not going well? And one way, I suppose, of defining that is how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't this require us then to have perhaps a greater level of awareness beyond the punitive, adversarial, winner takes all mindset?
That would be a good idea. I mean, because that mindset is so narrow and so short term, it's only going to produce problems.
Well, give us an example. I mean, war was a really good example and very obvious and in our faces. But give me an example at a little local business level, or something that I could relate to in my life.
Okay, I'm thinking of my father was a chairman of a charity, and he decided to change the shop it had, because it was certainly the first charity shop in Bristol, and this was 50 years ago. And they were working with disabled people. And at some point they realized that that disabled people it's all very well able people helping disabled people, but how do you enable and empower disabled people to do what they want, to look after themselves, rather than just to be grateful beneficiaries of what other people are doing? And so they created and there was a wonderful site that came up, and they took over this site. It was, I think it was a wartime admin site. And they set it up, and there were and they brought in lots of other charities to operate there. And the lead charity, after my father died, and then after the person who had taken over and helped him get it set up had also retired, and the new trustees just decided that they would rather sell off the site and have more resources for themselves, which didn't seem anyway. So the end result of it was something that was for the greater good was restricted, and there were lots of fights. And then another entrepreneur came in and bought the site, and I believe that subsequently he sold it on. So that dream was crushed because of the narrow we want a bit more money for our bit of the project, and trashed all the other projects.